Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be all about vendor shows, farmer markets, all of the setup events where you need to show up and be prepared to be as successful and to sell as much product as you possibly can. So here are some of my top must-have items that I take with me every single event that I do. So check these out. Now, the important thing when you show up to a vendor event is to maximize your sales as much as possible. These are some of the easiest things that I have found to ramp up my sales for the day by making things super simple and easy for all of my customers. All right, let's talk about transactions. So every single vendor show that I go to, I obviously have a reserve of cash, but the one thing that I absolutely lean on 100% of the time, my first go-to thing that I always make sure is charged and ready to go the day before, is my Apple Square reader. This is the one that I purchased off of Amazon. It came with the Square Bluetooth reader. It came with an extra charge cord, which I have out currently. It's charging my speaker because I was sitting right here at my desk. But it also came with the compatible PayPal charger that accommodates to an older version of an iPhone or an iPad. So these are super important. Lots of customers will be deterred if you do not offer a card paying option whatsoever. I have found that my sales have increased just by having this bad boy. I believe that this was $50 on Amazon, around that $50, $60 mark. This bad boy has generated me a few $100s in sales just by this one $50, $60 purchase. So I highly suggest grabbing one of these. I'll make sure it's in the affiliate link down below and the details. Amount of cash in your reserve is super important because you never know if somebody, your first order of the day, your first customer is going to come over with a $100 bill, or perhaps they're going to come over with a $1, you know, to get a chapstick or something, you know, that's $3. You never know. So regardless of the show, I do not take less than $75 cash. I like to start with 75. To me, that's just a number that I feel very comfortable with because I really push for credit card transactions. Credit card transactions are so much easier for me in the hustle and bustle because a lot of times I go to these shows all alone. And it's a huge deterrent actually for customers to come over and have, you know, 5 or 6 people checking out all of your tables and to see you standing there counting out money for each individual person versus saying, you know, hey, I can take your card, and holding their card in the card reader for a minute or two to take their order. And then moving on to the next customer. It keeps the momentum flowing. It makes your shop, your store, your tables feel like this luxury, you know, in and out. I can stop, I can pause, I can look, but I can also check out really, really fast and not hold everybody else up. With your table display in mind, these are some of the table displays that I have used in the past. Now, as you guys can see, every single table setup is completely different. I do try to group different elements together that are similar, like bath bombs stay by bath bombs, lip butters stay by lip butters, body butters in the bucket, soaps on the shelves, candles on the table, all different types of ways to make sure that when customers come in, they're immediately met at eye level with particular products. My key selling products are always going to be at eye level. The easier it is to scan something, look across the table, the easier it is for a customer to decide immediately what they want. I love creating different displays with every new show that I do. It's one of the fun things of lugging everything around, your entire shop, right? It takes hours to pack, hours to load, hours to get wherever you're going. It's a huge commitment. So once I'm there, once I'm set up and I have all of my soaps, my bath bombs, my lip butters, my body butters, my everything out on my table, the one way that I adorn my table, draw attention from the base of the table all the way up to eye level, are these lights. I absolutely love these solar powered twinkle lights. You can get these on Amazon. I will make sure all of these products are listed below with my affiliate link. But these are affordable, these are simple, you can reuse and recharge them, which is a key factor, because on the day before, throw them in the window, allow the sun panel to capture all those rays, and then you'll have it for the next day. I have several that are battery, and then also a few backup that are battery. Those are another must-have for your table. They add that extra luxury feel. Signs that tell your customers how much products are super vital when it comes to farmer market, vending shows, holiday sales, flea markets, anything, any type of event that you go to, that you take your products to, that your main goal is to turn a profit. You need signs. Signs make it super simple. The bolder, the better. The more contrasting your sign is next to whatever particular product you have it by, makes it easier to spot, easier to, okay, that one's $5, that's $7, this is $15. It makes it sweet and simple for customers. When I decorate and set up my tables, one of the main things that I love doing is having my focal point be in the direct center of my tent. So I tend to do like a half square, right? So I have a table on my right, a table on my left, and then a center table connecting both of them. So people can come into my tent, customers can come into my tent and look and do the whole sweeping from the left, across the front, and down across to their right. The one main thing that I love doing is putting my soap up on the pedestals in a different layered formation, like you guys will see in these photos. I enjoy making them look layered. It helps fill out the space, but also shows how unique and different my soaps are. Now, I like to make sure that the main draw of my products, that main key item, which is my soap, is directly in the center of the table. In that main table, that is the table that I stand behind the entire show. It's vital to have this because people, when they walk by, you are the face of that particular product. So it's very important when people walk by that one, you are standing. The longer you're on your feet at a vendor show, the better. Your sales increase. Customer conversations just flow so much easier. It's easier to have a customer come in, be greeted, and then follow through with a beautiful purchase of whatever products you're providing for them. With a table setup, I prefer in lining up different items such as candles, body butters, hemp butters, all different types of creams on one side. Across me and the front of my table, right, the portion that is in front of me that I am proudly standing behind, is all of my soap. So all of my goat's milk soap, all of my cold processed soap, all the beautiful soaps that I have formulated are all across the table in front of me in this beautifully packed and heavy table. The one thing that I have found has drawn the most success for me is being prepared every single event that I go to. That means having a massive stockpile. Customers are more naturally drawn to booths that are fuller. So if you're walking through a farmer's market, you know, think of yourself personally. When you walk through a farmer's market, you know, even if you're going yard sailing one day and you're going house to house to house, storefront to storefront to storefront, the ones that only have a few pieces get as much traffic as the people who put it all out there. So put your products out there. Make sure that when you go to these events, whether they're farmer market, vendor shows, Christmas, holiday, you know, bridal expos, whatever, make sure that one, you come prepared. These items are key in finding success. Next, make sure that you are approachable. Wear clothing that, you know, you don't have to go out there and spend hundreds of dollars on a new outfit. Wear something that's modest, wear something that's professional. You are the face of your business. So make sure whatever you are wearing, whatever you are putting out there, whether it's a good attitude or a negative attitude, that you are remembering, I am the face of my brand. Show pride, show excitement and enthusiasm. Have knowledge ready to be able to put upon your customers. You know, for me, it's very simple for me to chat with people. So if I'm at a vendor show and there's several people that I'm seeing, hey, they're walking right past my tent. They haven't even come in my tent yet. And I bet those women probably love soap. They just don't know it yet. Why is my soap so good? Why are my bath bombs a must-have? Why are my lip butters just the bomb, right? These customers do not know that yet. So it's up to me to educate customers, my customers, for my soap and bath bomb company, just like for you, regardless of whatever you are selling or making. It is up to you to tell your customer why. Why are you set apart from all of the other booths? Why are you set apart from other soap vendors? I have been at different events where I was not the only person selling a particular product. And the first time that this happened to me, I was absolutely heartbroken because I did not sell one thing. This was many, many years ago, long before I ever started soap. And my heart was truly, truly broken at that vendor event. But the one thing I walked away with was why? Why did customers feel so drawn to go to this other woman? Why? What was it that she had that attracted that type of customer? What was it that, you know, pulled her customer in to make them have those full committed sales? So I left there, you know, bummed that I hadn't made any sales. But I also left there with knowledge, knowing, hey, you can't be sitting back behind one of your tallest display frames. You don't get to be shy. And if you choose to be shy and not so engaging with customers, customers will gladly pass you by. They will gladly pass you by. And I know that's a hard thing to hear, but if you are not present in the moment with your booth, with your products, with your customers, they will pass you by. Sales will pass you by. Another thing, which probably for so many people is going to seem like a silly thing to even say, boom, hand sanitizer, honey. You have to have hand sanitizer. You need to be wearing a mask at vendor events. You need to be wearing, you know, some of the vendor events, come prepared. Because a lot of these events don't care. And, you know, they do not care which side of the fence you fall on. There are rules in a lot of different places when you are a vendor that say, hey, masks are required, hand sanitizer for every booth, a trash can, and or maybe not nowadays, depending on where you're from, a plexiglass barrier. That's an investment. It's an investment, but if you are set in, you know, your goal of showing up to an event and you're thinking, okay, at this event, I'm probably going to make anywhere between, you know, $200 and $1,000 in sales. Find a plexiglass barrier. I have seen so many people taking shower curtains or all different types of transparent tablecloths and screwing or nailing them to little frames. Figure it out, because nowadays we have to figure out how to continue to move forward. How do we as small business owners thrive in a time of COVID, right? Whether it's online sales or in-person sales, how do we as small business owners continue to thrive? How can we get our product out there? How can we do it safely? How can we do it in a manner that allows our customers to feel comfortable? So for me personally, one thing that I do a lot of the time, because I create soap for my small business, my soap I create using the cold process method, which means my soap has to sit unwrapped out of the biodegradable film that I wrap them in at the end of the curing phase. Before my soap is actually wrapped, it hits the 4-week mark, right? and then it goes from 4 weeks to 6 weeks in curing. There are a lot of times I have gone to vendor shows with soap that is completely unwrapped. People love to see the soap. It has helped me sell a lot of soap. But I will tell you one thing, I do not allow customers to manhandle my products. I put them out, I display them on the table, and if I see somebody coming over with children, you know, I quickly draw the child's attention to something else. Whether it's my bath bombs that look like donuts, or my unicorn soap, my mermaid soap. I also put a cute little sign that says, please do not touch me. I know I'm pretty, but please do not touch me. I also make sure that I have a bucket out with different soap samples in it for people to pick up and smell. That is the safest way that I can protect my product from any type of bacteria, any type of viral, you know, germ or anything like that. So I keep my products out and about so people can see them, but they're also separate in a way that allows people to know, okay, I can look and admire or purchase easily, but I just can't touch those ones. She has some samples out for me that if I choose to, I can smell, you know, especially in like COVID. I always tell people, just wave it. Just wave it and you'll be able to pick up on all the essential oils. But that is one thing in particular that I find very, very important is just nowadays, it's just overall safety for you, for your customer, but also for your product. Keep your products in prime positioning to, you know, keep the integrity of your product intact, right? Nobody wants to buy a bar of soap that has been manhandled by 10 or 12 different people before them, okay? So make sure that you always protect your products. Another really big thing that I have found over the years to be an absolute must have is a wagon. Some sort of wagon. I actually have two different kinds, so I'll tell you the pros and cons to each kind. I have one that my parents purchased for me years and years ago. It is a steel framed wagon that closes up like this and then it drops open like this, and you simply pull the handle that stays up in the air. It doesn't bend and you don't push it or anything. It's more of like a pull that like you would find at Home Depot maybe. But it's small, it's petite, it fits in the trunk of your car. I believe that was around a $60 wagon. I loved this wagon because at the time I could put both of my tables down on the base, so boom boom, table stacked, right? I could then throw the two bins that I needed for what I was selling at the time right on top, throw my chair on there, and I could just pull it all behind me. Nowadays, I sell a different product that I do not keep in the type of bins that I was using at the time, and I also have more inventory. More inventory that I cannot risk rain or sun accidentally falling off my wagon into a puddle or falling off of my cart onto the ground and just spilling out everywhere. I can't afford that. I will lose money if my product is not intact. So we went out and invested in a wagon, which you'll find the link to the wagon down below in the comments. This is a simple wagon that I found on Amazon. It folds up really snug. It is heavy duty. The tires come inflated already. This wagon can hold over 100 pounds. I see these wagons all the time being used in parades and other vendors. These are like an all-purpose wagon. All-purpose wagon. There are little pockets on the side of the cargo lining that you can put in so you can take it out and clean it or put it back in, keep it clean, tidy. Those wagons are an absolute must-have. As you can see, I will show you guys right here of my little sister Grace actually pulling a wagon, this particular wagon that I swear by, into a vendor show that we did just a few weeks ago. So aside from the main items to really buy, the basic items that you do need to have, I require about an 8-foot table most of the time. I like to just go 8 foot because 6 foot is great, but why not have 8 if you only get one table? Surface area matters. Make sure you show up with a table. It's so much better to have a table set up than to have nothing, to have your products on the floor. Because I have seen people, different vendors, going to different shows and having these incredible products, but they're on the floor. And even though they're on a sheet or a blanket or a beautiful piece of material, they're down on the floor. Customers do not want to get down and search. They just don't. And they will, unfortunately, walk right past your booth. A lot of times at these vendor events, you only get one table. Sometimes you have to pay for a table, and then sometimes you just reserve your spot and then you can bring your own tables. It's very important to always confirm, double check with the person that you have registered for the event to make sure, do I have to provide a table of my own? Are chairs provided for me? You know, every now and then, vendors at different events get a dinner, or they get a drink or 2 drinks, or perhaps it's, you know, 2 chicken barbecues or whatever. It's important just to make sure and verify what is provided for me fully and what am I personally fully responsible for. One thing in particular that I absolutely swear by doing, regardless if a meal is provided for you or not, bring your own snacks. Bring a mini cooler bag with a bottle of water, a soda. Make sure you bring Tylenol, because you never know if those fluorescent lights in the place or if the sun is going to just beam down on you and, you know, you're gonna get a headache. Nobody wants to be dealing with customers with a migraine. I've done it before. It's very difficult to slap a smile on. Let's be real. So make sure that you have the things that you know you're going to need. If you require medication in the middle of the day, bring it. Put it in your cooler bag. Make sure it stays safe. Take the things that you know you need to be at your best 100% of the time. With that being said, being a vendor at a vendor show, not only by yourself selling and putting out your product to the general public, but if you are a parent, if you have a niece or a nephew with you, if you have a young child in general with you, make sure that they have something that they enjoy doing, okay? It doesn't have to be something that they have to remain focused on 100% of the time, all day long, okay? But make sure that they have a snack, make sure that they have a drink, make sure if you have a child that you know whom is in charge of the event, because in the event of an emergency, you know, if they have to go to the restroom, or even if you have to go to the restroom, you know, just catching the attention of, you know, whomever it is that, you know, you booked your spot with, just say, hey, I have to run to the restroom really quick. Would you mind just standing here? Just guarding my table just for a moment. I'll be as fast as I can. I have never experienced somebody saying no, you know, and when you're vending, one thing that I absolutely do every single time, and if you guys are in a position to do this, I highly suggest doing it not with your most expensive product. For me, I always either give a sample of soap or one of my lip butters, because my sample of soaps or my lip butters are my most inexpensive items. I like to offer a small token of appreciation to whomever watched my booth. Not only are you showing them, you know, how thankful you are just by saying, hey, here's one of my products, feel free to use it, you know, thank you so much for lending me a helping hand, you know, it goes a long way. Little efforts, little things, little gestures like that truly do go a very long way when it comes to vending shows. All right, guys, so that is a lot of information to take in on vending shows in general. We went over some of my key must-have items that I do not leave my house with. Make sure, I forgot to mention, tablecloths or materials, something to put down on your table. Charge cords, I also forgot, those little must-haves. But I'm gonna go ahead and pin a handful of useful items to take with you down in the description box below. So if any of you guys are interested in checking out any of my affiliate links, please go ahead. But just know that a small portion of that purchase goes to me and help fund my small business. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have found this video insightful, helpful, educational. If you guys have any questions on any of the products, feel free to shoot it down in the comment section below. I will be doing more videos on vending and different shows like that. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being an encouragement to me and to one another, and I will see you guys later.